Using just an API token and our attended event guide on data exploration will show you how you can easily replicate event insights into your accommodation platform. Jumping into the guide now, we'll do some basic setup. And we're going to look at a hotel location within San Francisco for 2 years back to November of 2020 through November of 2022. And the first thing we will do is set up an event data frame, pulling in all of the events. And from there, we're going to start with a very high level insight, just looking at the count of events by category. And in the case of this location, almost 50% of the events are concerts over that 2-year period. The next insight we would look at is number of events per day. So each one of these charts shows number of events per day per category, and you'll see that there's a variance to them, and there's a day obviously in looks like December of 2021 with a high level of conferences sticking out here. The other way to visualize this would look at it based off of per category and day of the week. So what days of the week are strongest on a given category, as well as in a given month. So you'll see that April Saturdays in March and late March, there's lots of sports happening in San Francisco. The next piece we will look at is the frequency of label occurrence across these categories. So the labels are on the x-axis, the count is on the y-axis, and the different colors represent the categories. So you can see in the case of sports, there are many labels that come through that are just going to be representative in the sports category, whereas other labels can cross over multiple categories at a time. This is really useful to just get a better understanding of what types of events are going to be driving demand into your area. And of course, the probably most powerful visualization of them all is a map, seeing what types of events or where these events are actually taking place in relation to your hotel. These are the top 100 events based off of total attendance of those events and the location of them. And your hotel is right there in the middle of all of that. The other visualization, of course, is just a purely heat map showing the exact same events, but just based off of the event size. So while there are events spread out throughout the city, the majority of the major events are all going to be in this general area, and then it gets a little bit smaller outside of that area. And the final piece to look at for this guide and to replicate in your platform would be to look at both venues as well as the recurring events happening around. So venues being concert venues, sports arenas, things like that. And recurring events, of course, being events that are happening repeatedly in that area, whether that's on a weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, or for many of those large events on a yearly basis. So that's just a quick way of using our attended event data exploration notebook to take that and replicate it within your accommodation platform. The only thing you need is to log into Control Center, go into our API tools and create an API client and token and use that to access this and replicate it in just a matter of minutes.